Well, hello, vinyl community. It's Jacob coming to you from the Dallas Open Micer YouTube channel. Thought I'd try something different in this video. Although, it is a record haul video. That's my bread and butter. That's my wheelhouse. But what I thought I would do is make a separate video where I talk about the other stuff. I talk about like my long COVID struggles, my dry, cracked hands that require me to wear latex-free gloves and apply moisturizer. The concerts I've missed and attended, those sorts of things. What I had for lunch. I'll save that stuff for a related video, and I'll post that at the end. And in this video, I'll pretty much just stick to the records. I'm also, I noticed that today I pulled some records that, people who don't like my channel talk about a lot. And I thought, well, it'd be kind of fun to show those records and maybe have a silly little series where I say, I'm showing records that people who don't like my channel might enjoy, but I wouldn't put those cool records in my thumbnails because I really don't want I don't want the this party to get out of control with a lot of comments where people go, dude, I love that record, and then you got to respond to that. What a suck the joy out of my life. Anyway, I do understand that if, this channel goes viral, that more correspondence is going to be part of my fate. But I like the small little garden community I've got here, and I don't want to spoil that for you, regular viewer. Don't want to be wasting my time responding to some colossal bore who just loses it over seeing something like this. I tell you, I was happy to be looking through the clearance, and then I saw the ghostly face of Graham Parsons from across. They had this in the rock section, and I thought, I'm willing to pick this up now. It's starting to get really out of control, expensive, and harder to find. I used to see this all the time at the swap meet I went to in the late '90s, early 2000s, and never was interested in it. But Emmylou Harris, I think, wore me down, and I decided to pull the trigger on and purchase this one for a reasonable price. It had some ringwear on there. There was a little bit of noise on the needle drop for side one, but then after that, smooth sailing. Again, I paid well under half price for what this is going for on the Discog, so I was pleased to pick that one up. Then I saw another group that's cool. Took my wife to see the remaining the current lineup of these fellas back in the summer, and I really enjoyed it. This is the American Capitol reissue, with the very uncool, though, as cool as these men with red shirts, red lipstick, and black ties are on the front cover. What every teenage boy wanted to be in 1978. It is on the very unexciting green Capitol reissue label. So I don't know what particular year this reissue came out. I know there were some in the 70s throughout the 80s, but sounds wonderful. Again, good solid price. Still cheaper than a new record would go for, even though it was much more than what I'm used to paying with my clearance finds, especially those 25-cent clearance items. But this one has some bangers on here, and I'm not talking about Irish sausages. They got The Robots, they got Metropolis, They got The Model. That one that does objectify the woman. a little bit, but these were strange men in lipstick and red shirts. I think any woman that was made uncomfortable by their advances could brush those guys off. And then the hauntingly beautiful neon lights, and they got this the Man Machine. Pretty neat design, even if I wouldn't be caught dead in this shade of lipstick. All right, let's see what's next. I found a record that I've checked the condition on this one for, I don't know, maybe hundreds of times. It might be a bit of a stretch. I've got a almost decent copy of this one. This is, I believe, the 1962 mono reissue of the 1960s Ventures album. Does have a tear there. Sounds wonderful. This I was just thrilled to find this. I know you can get the record for a reasonable price online, but I'm skeptical of that sort of thing. You see, that's the blue label. I believe that is the 1962. If someone's more knowledgeable than me on that, please let me know in the comments below. Sounded wonderful. I don't know that it had been owned by a teenager, or maybe it had been owned by someone obsessive compulsive neat freak teenager. This one was even appeared to be in more beautiful condition. The Fabulous Ventures appeared absolutely flawless, but the record sounded lifeless. It just sounded flat and muffled. I don't know if it was a bad press or somebody had played it with a worn needle, but this one it just did not thrill and excite me. I'm not going to return it. I don't know that for the very reasonable price that they sold this to me for, that it would justify a return and hassling the counter people. But mild disappointment on top of a great thrill. This sounded wonderful. That's what the records are supposed to do. They're supposed to offer you an added layer of excitement. And I gotta tell you, this Kraftwerk thing, I had listened to them on CD, and this was a whole different experience than what I was expecting. Just sounded absolutely amazing. I don't really get the computer stuff. It's not really my personality, but just hearing that was it was delightful. I've used that word before, haven't I? Let's see what else I find delightful. I find this lady singing delightful. I'm not familiar with the music here, but it's a Mercury stereo. I don't know what her vocal condition was when she recorded this, but this was darn near clearance price. Why not go for it? There's going to be a time where that won't be popping up anymore. Like to dig in the gospel religious section, and found this guy. He just looks so joyful. Love and Dream Big, Charles King. I don't know if he's a prosperity gospel singer, singing to mostly white ladies. There's some gentlemen in the background there, but he's enjoying himself. Look at that glare off the shrink. We need to remove that shrink. Love and Dream Big. I'm gonna give it a go. Now for my clearance finds. It's nothing but the clearance finds. Oh, we got past the stuff that other people, the people who don't like my channel, would like. Those records. I don't know that this one is. If I had thumbnailed that one, that would be luring people in, or if I'd thumbnailed this, you know, the very uncool Westminster Hi-Fi. But I like Westminster records. I like this cover. Now, if this had been a Blue Note record with a cover like this, people would go, "Oh man, that's cool stuff." But Westminster Hi-Fi, not so cool. But Dmitri Shostakovich, Concertos for Piano and Orchestra, could be fun. Even if it's not stereo. I think sometimes those stereo snobs are the real heroes because they leave some of those mono pressings that sound wonderful. They're cheap for the rest of us. Now here is a stereo, Stravinsky in stereo for a clearance record price, 1962. Is Colin Davis gonna do Stravinsky justice? I don't know. I'm gonna find out. Stravinsky can be a lot of fun. He was a bit of an odd duck, but hard to pass that up. It's got that little split there, but nothing to be ashamed of. Now we got a Dallas country fella. It's a B.W. Stevenson that I didn't own. For clearance on this guy, it's worth doing. Fun cover. He was a very hairy man. Looks like the band members. Oh, we got some. That guy's another hairy man. He's got some style. Fun-loving fella there. That's a lady. I wonder if she's in the band. I don't have my readers with me. I could do some investigating on my own. Now here's a record that disappointed me. This Narvel Felts. Look at Narvel's magnificent sideburns there. This is still with us, a wonderful vocalist. I'd been hoping to catch him, and then the COVID came, and he's getting up there in years. He's got the mustache, but anytime I see Narvel Felts in clearance, I'll go for it. And then this one really got me fired up. Side one, the final track, I see a name before I even see the title. It jumps out. Billy Joe Shaver. We got Billy Joe Shaver's Restless Wind on here, and I thought I'm gonna skip to the end on that one and play it. And it was a big letdown. You get this vocal chorus that sneaks in, and then it starts echoing him. When it gets to the chorus, and it had that very 60s easy listening kind of like Lawrence Welk country vibe that I assume the producer put on this record. I don't want to believe that it was Narvel Felts' idea to get this backing group in there, as they really spoiled the number for me. And you know, that was it was a good opportunity. Anytime you see a Billy Joe Shaver song on somebody's record, it makes you just want to buy that record more. And in this case, it just magnified the disappointment that I had. Now here's something, you know, it's hard to get disappointed about. These Linda Ronstadt 1970s records in clearance, I'll pick them up if they're in good condition. And one thing that happens when I buy this one is this little detail often fools me into thinking that it's a tear from the label. But this is the Linda Ronstadt Sings War on Zevon album. It's fun. It's got this incredible gatefold. I imagine I've shown this record before, and I'll show it again. And then there's delightful Linda Ronstadt there. Let's see what's next. Oh, I stumbled across a gentleman's Mickey Newberry collection. Some of them were a little moldy, so I took a pass on them. But I got this one here. He sings the big Kenny Rogers hit that he wrote. What's it called? Just dropped in to see what condition my condition was in. Gets very funky. I did do a little needle drop on this one. We got a not for sale on there, and he does a lot of like easier listening singer-songwritery stuff, but I'm still trying to figure out Mickey Newberry, so I went in on some more. This is that's a nice hat. Mickey Newberry sings his own. It's not going to be singing other folk songs on this one. The Queen. I'm going to find out what that's all about. I'm very ignorant when it comes to Mickey Newberry. And this is 1968. Singer-songwritery country here. Was this one 1968 or was the other one? Anyway, I think this was 1968. I could be wrong. I speak from ignorance all the time. But, you know, that doesn't stop. I mean, I did hem and haw a bit. I did backtrack. But usually, you know, if I'm going to speak from ignorance, I'll stick with my guns until otherwise corrected. All right, that's the end of the Mickey Newberries. I found this Donovan record, and I thought that might be worth a go. It's got this gatefold. I don't know if Donovan is coyly like chewing on his fingers there, or maybe he's eating a cracker or a piece of cheese. That is, you know, it's Donovan there. Recognize his nose. But I read the review on this one that they get a little bit Celtic rocky. There's a song called Curryland, and then I listened to Rikki Tikki Tavi, or Rikki Tikki Tavi, and just to do a quick needle drop, does it's about the Rudyard Kipling mongoose, but I think there's deeper levels of meaning to get into. I don't know if it goes into you know, deep thoughts about India, or it might be a callback to Curryland. I'll have to find out, but you know, the record was in great shape, and it'll be fun exploring that. This is my final record of the this extravaganza here. Didn't know this fella, Alvin Kessner, but I thought, you know what, this is a guy I'm willing to do a blind buy on. That's just cool. So it does have a shrink, but I'm gonna go ahead. Somebody wants to pay $3 for that. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the shrink. Now this record was slightly warped, and I believe that was due to the shrink. It's been in that wrapper since 1987. There was no inner sleeve, so I've provided one. Can only find two records from this gentleman on Discogs or on the internet. He recorded 1973 a 45 of the song he wrote, "You Mean Everything." It's available. You can see it on YouTube. It's considered a late rockabilly number, and he re-records this here in 1987, where same song but with 80s country sensibilities and an updated sound. I think the original 1973 is a lot cooler than this one, but this fella comes across as being quite likable, and this was it for him as far as I know. The title here, "On My Own," I listened to that, and he's singing about, you know, having his sights on Nashville and making it, and you know, we know, you know, over 35 years later that he didn't make it. Did not make it big in Nashville, but you know, sometimes those that make it big are not the best, right? I was gonna say something extremely rude about some country artists that made it big in the late '80s and the '90s, but I resisted the urge to let such filthy words spew forth from my mouth. Well, that's my finds video. If you enjoyed that, gosh, that still went long even without all the extra talking I was prepared to do. You're welcome to stick around and find out what I've been up to this past week. Bump the camera again. That'll be over here, and then I'll have another video here. Thanks for watching.